What's up YouTube? This is Jimios. Today I'm going to be talking about Simeon Panda and whether or not he is on steroids. Before I get started with this actual video, in no way, shape or form am I accusing him or definitively saying that this man is on steroids, because I personally don't really know. I don't live with the dude. I don't know whether the guy's actually fucking getting up every day, shooting shit in his ass. But however, that still does not excuse me from, gathering all the facts and presenting them to all the people out there as to whether or not he might be on it. Why is this important that this man is on steroids or not? Well, it's important to know whether someone is on steroids or not when you look up to them, is because you want to know what's naturally attainable for your physique and what isn't. So when you look at some fitness personalities, what are you really trying to look up to them for? Is it more of the entertainment aspect, or is it more, you're getting your tips and you're getting your workout routines and you're thinking one day you're going to be like this person and whatnot, right? So you're going to follow everything that they do. There's three criteria that I use for determining whether someone may be on steroids or not. The physical stats, how much does the person weigh, how tall is he, what's the body fat. The second criteria is the physical strength. So how powerful, how strong is this person relative to their physical stats? How powerful are they compared to, let's say, other people that are in the same type of situation as them? The third criteria is financial incentive. How much money are they making from sponsorships? Does their livelihood depend on them looking a certain way? Is it really in their best interest to be looking a certain way and maintaining that physique? So Simeon Panda was born on May 28th, 1986 in London, England. So he's 32 years old currently. He started training in 2002. So that's over 15 years of training that he's been doing. That's a freaking long time. So I want you guys to also take that into account before we actually go into the physical stats. Starting with the first thing, he's 6 feet and 1 inch tall. So he's pretty tall. He's a guy that tall could add a lot of lean muscle mass onto him. So he's 6 feet 1 inches. He's also 230 pounds. So that's a lot of weight as well. His body fat percentage is around 7%. His body fat percentage is around 7% and he weighs 230 pounds. So a really great indicator to use is the fat-free mass index. So the fat-free mass index pretty much tells you how much muscle mass you have relative to how much or how tall you are. So if I plug in his numbers into the calculator, the fat-free mass index shows he's at 28 points. For a natural athlete, the range is around 25. Looking at Simeon Panda being at 28, you gotta excuse Simeon Panda from people that are, let's say, just your, regular dude that's trying to build muscle. Simeon Panda, truly, steroids or not, this man has fucking premium genetics. I don't care what anyone says, this man has premium genetics. He looks like an absolute monster. He's got really good proportions. He's just got those muscles that pop out. You gotta excuse him that extra point or two. But fucking 28? I don't know, man. 28 points is a little too much. As far as you would go as far as saying like 26, 27 at most, but 28 puts him at too high of a body mass or a fat-free mass index. But then again, like I said, he's got those genetics that are like 1 in a million, probably even, lesser odds than that. It might even be 1 in 10 million, 1 in 100 million. Like, he's got those type of genetics. So once again, it just comes down to interpretation and really looking at it, because I know people that I've grown up with since I was like middle school, and these people that I grew up with, like some of the people that I grew up with, like they had muscle that they were carrying around and they never lifted a single weight. Born athletes, premium genetics. So throughout lifting, you could expect them to build a lot more muscle than someone, let's say, that was not born athletic, for instance, right? You're going to be able to expect more muscle to come out of those people. Other things to talk about for Simeon Panda regarding the physical stats is that he has 21-inch arms, he has a 50-inch chest, and a 31-inch waist. So to put this into perspective, I chose Arnold as the best comparison for Simeon Panda because, like I said before, Simeon Panda to me is the Black Arnold. So let's compare him side by side and let's look at the stats of Arnold. Okay, so Arnold is 6 feet 2 inches, so he's an inch taller than Simeon Panda. He weighs anywhere between 230 pounds to 240 pounds. Arnold has 22-inch arms, 57-inch chest, and a 34-inch waist with the same amount of body fat as Simeon Panda. So what this is telling me is that Simeon Panda has been able to achieve a physique that is almost identical to Arnold, yet Arnold was someone that claimed or admitted to using steroids and using them heavily to get to the physique that he had. So when you're comparing Arnold to Simeon, you have someone named Simeon Panda that's looks incredible, but comes out and says he's natural, whereas Arnold over here, that's also very naturally gifted, taking or admitting to using heavy doses or a lot of steroids, and them being identical physiques. So the next thing I want to look at is the physical strength. So he usually operates on a typical bro split, the Monday chest, the Tuesday back. If not, he's always usually working out one body part a day. He's doing that typical bro split that everybody does when they first join or start into the fitness industry. He's doing anywhere between 24 to 40 sets. He starts out with a lot of compound movements, or starts out with 1 or 2 exercises with the compound movements, and the rest are all isolation. There are research studies out there that training your body parts more frequently might be a more ideal way to train. Some of his stats, man, I've seen him bench over 4 plates, which is pretty reasonable for a guy that size. I mean, he's 6'1", 230 pounds. That's less than twice his body weight. So he squatted over 600 pounds, which is friggin' amazing. It's crazy. And I've seen some of his squat form, and he does a pretty decent job, squatting. Some of his squats are like ass to grass and whatnot. So he's doing a good job there. But once again, squatting over 600 pounds is freaking crazy. That's a lot of weight to be squatting. Standing shoulder press, I've seen him do over 2 plates. I mean, he's got one of the biggest delts I've seen, or one of the roundest delts I've seen at his physical stats. So it's natural that he's going to be really strong in the shoulder department. And I'm talking about standing shoulder presses too. He's doing 225 pounds plus. His physical strength isn't too, I would say, way out of the ordinary, but what does raise a red flag is the fact that he's only training his body part once a week. And when I first started getting into lifting, all I saw was these people that are competing in Mr. Olympia, and they're training their body parts once a week. You have all these people that are taking these drugs or taking these steroids, and they're all preaching this one body part a day type of split, and the reason for it being is so it helps you recover, and doing a high volume of training as well. You're able to do that much of volume, so the 40 sets in a workout, you're able to do that, and you're able to do that with full recovery as long as you're taking steroids. The third thing, which is the most underrated aspect, as I mentioned before, is the financial incentive. So the financial incentive is freaking huge, guys. How much money is Simeon Panda making? There's no actual fact out there or credible source out there that's going to give you a definitive answer. If they are, it's just a lie. But all I can do is go off of what I've seen so far. I've seen the man buy a freaking McLaren. He has his own website where he sells his own merch. So I think he owns this company. It's called JustLift, and they make padded lifting straps. And then on top of that, he's selling like these phone cases, probably his t-shirts and stuff like that. He's also sponsored by MyProtein. I don't know if he still is, but I know at one point he was sponsored by MyProtein, which is a British fitness supplement company, and it's very, very big down in the UK. So he was probably making a lot of money from that type of stuff. And then on top of that, he also sells a lot of personal training and meal routine. They're pretty expensive. If you go on his website, some of these plans are like $80 for something that just had to be written once, and you just sell that, and you're using kind of like your brand to sell that off. And so it doesn't really require him too much. Like, it's not like he needs to make a profit. His profit is literally the time that he put in. That's his cost rather, and the profit is literally just people buying that. So as soon as someone buys like $80, like an $80 friggin' meal plan or fitness routine from him, he pretty much banks all of that as his profit. So that's a lot of money if you actually think about it. He claims to have a 10 million social network following. So that would mean, like, let's say only a percent of people that are actually following him get or end up spend $100 over the lifetime of knowing Simeon Panda. So I would say, let's say I'm a fan of Simeon Panda. I want to buy stuff from him over the course of like the next 20 years. Let's say I buy a phone case here, I buy a fitness routine here, I buy a shirt 1 year. So over the lifetime, let's say I spend $100 on Simeon Panda. Just 1% of 10 million is is 100,000 people. So it's 100,000 people that he has following him that's going to purchase, let's say, $100 minimum of his merch or workout routines and stuff. That would equate to $10 million. That's a lot of money that Simeon Panda is going to be making over the course of doing these things. When I look at the financial incentive, my question is he really, I mean, what's his incentive? Like, is he making his money doing this? Well, yeah, of course. I mean, his primary income is from his workouts and his YouTube money. He has his merch that he sells, and then he's selling all of his personal training routines. So all of these things taken into consideration, there's a lot of money to be made here. And so Simeon Panda, I would say, has to make sure that he looks friggin' amazing at all times. He's always putting out that high quality video, and he's always posting pictures on his Instagram and stuff like that. So all of those things are very, very necessary for him. Let's go to the conclusion now. The question is, is this man on steroids? Well, let's look at the statistics. So fat-free mass index is over 27, and I'm adding that 2-point cushion over to 25 just to give him that extra room for having those premium genetics. He's extremely strong, but he does a lot of isolation-based workouts too. So if you actually pay attention to his workouts, yes, he does 40 sets, and he does a lot of compound movements, but a majority of the sets, like, he focuses a lot on isolation movements. So it's kind of weird that someone that's doing all these isolation movements can look just like Simeon Panda. The third thing is his livelihood depends on it. So ask yourself, if you were to make over 6 figures in fitness and all you had to do was claim to be a natural apart from obviously having a good physique, would you do it? This man is claiming to be a natural while you're on steroids or looking like you're on steroids. It generates a lot of controversy, and if there's a lot of controversy, a lot of people are going to be talking about you, and if a lot of people are talking about you, that means that there's a lot of engagement that happens on all of your social media profiles, and if there's a lot of engagement, more people get to see you, more people get to interact with you, and the people that are just coming into fitness look at you and be like, oh well, fuck, I want to be just like that. That brings his followers up. Those are the statistics. Let me know what you guys think about Simeon Panda. Is he on steroids or not? Please like this video, comment, subscribe. Please share this with all your friends. It's going to help me a lot. I want to make a lot more videos. Thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a great fucking day.